10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? My name is RJ from the Silver Site, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Yutaka from the Horror Hour TV. What's going on?
Not much. How's it going?
I'm here. And we are joined by Mo from Blurred Up Reacts. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Listen, we got a lot.
Ready to get on that Jade hate train.
The unlimited smoke for Jade will never grow old. I love it. Absolutely deserves it. This wasn't really an eventful episode. It was more dialogue heavy. We did have something major kind of happen that we kind of predicted last episode, but let's just jump into it. So the synopsis of episode 3, Tether, is Kenny and Ellis make a grisly discovery out in the forest while Boyd struggles with the reality of what's happening to him. Yeah, so let's just get into talking about Boyd. So Boyd kind of irritated me. He's talking to Ellis and he's kind of trying to tell him about the Anywhere tree. But he doesn't tell him about everything that happened. He doesn't tell him about Martin. He doesn't tell him about the My Blood is Your Blood. He literally gives this man nothing, just like Jim, just like everybody else in the town, who rather than communicating with each other, they're keeping everything to themselves, and it is growing increasingly frustrating to watch. So let's just talk about that piece. How do you guys feel? We'll start with Mo. How do you guys feel about Boyd just keeping this to himself?
I see both sides. I see your point where it's just like y'all just need to tell everything to everybody so y'all can all come together and figure this out. But if I were in that situation, I would need to try to figure it out first myself, just a little bit, and then when I've come to my stopping point where I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, let me just tell everybody else. So I probably would have just been like, all right, let me not give them all the information right now. Let me try to figure it out in my brain, what's going on first, and what is this worms in my arm, and how is this affecting me? And then maybe in a couple of days, I'll let everybody else know. But for now, I need to figure out what happened for myself.
A couple of days, Mo. You know how much can happen in a couple of days?
That's true. Maybe a day. That's true.
You got 12 hours.
It's his son. I feel like he could have, communicated to his son. I'm not saying he has to go shout about town, but he could have told his son.
Yeah, but a part of the same situation, like Ellis was like, that's his son's name, right? Ellis,
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right? Yeah. He was seeming kind of erratic himself. So I don't know if Boyd too was like, there's something clearly wrong with him. Let me find out what's going on with him. And once he found out, like, it's all this stuff and Fatima is, having a breakdown, maybe he was like, let me just hold back for a little bit. Let me not put all this on him at once.
I don't know. I just feel like scream that shit to the mountaintops. Like, we're in a situation where we're probably not going to make it out. We're more likely to die than to live through this. And you're keeping stuff. I don't know. Boyd really irritated me this episode. Like, you
can't say Victor's lasted how long. So just saying. Actually, to be fair, I don't know if they've ever said anybody's died of old age in this town. I've been trying to think about that when I think about the life expectancy, for these.
Yeah.
When you think about how long some have been there and how long some haven't, always just.
I don't think anybody's died of natural causes. I think either they've got because they've only had those talismans for what, like a year or so, they said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the past year or something like that. The talismans are fairly new. We came in after after the chaos. So, but yeah, Boyd, anyway. So another part of that conversation, which I felt really, really good about was, and I love the father-son bond, and I love the fact that Boyd and Ellis kind of have this, this connection still, where he kind of tells him about Fatima losing it. And, he kind of had to really give him like a Huxtable, like man to man, like, you got to be there for her. Like, you got to be her piece. You got to be the one thing this place can't take away. And I love seeing, especially strong Black father figures on screen. And I thought that was such a touching moment to see those two to see him really encourage his son.
I agree. Like I literally laughed out loud. He was like, "Hey, you got to get rid of that. What is that wiring? You can do better than that."
That part. I was
do
chuckling, but I'm like, what else is there?
True.
Like there's no Zales. Like what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Unless y'all start digging up dead bodies and seeing what they had on their fingers, that's about it.
All right. Well, okay.
I mean, you got a point. Well, you mean to tell me with all of the stores that they have, there's no other spare rings?
I don't think they even have stores there. I mean, they're lucky they have the
storage thing, right?
Oh, storage. Oh,
yeah, storage.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
There might be something there. I don't know. I don't know. It was funny though. Like, yeah, because that ring is kind of whack. Like, but also I wanted to talk about Boyd visiting his wife's grave. And he's really like he's unraveling because he wants to know how Martin could possibly know his wife's name. And I don't know. I don't know if it's the worms or the stress of the place that's getting the boy, but I don't know. That was a really like touching scene too, to see him kind of standing at his wife's grave, just kind of losing it. I don't know, but and I guess like I said, these stories kind of interlap. So I do want to kind of talk about Donna's conversation with Boyd towards the end. And
that was
like
a good conversation.
It was a good conversation. Donna, I didn't understand why Donna was breaking down, but then I kind of understand now. She's really starting to feel the fact that, damn, I'm the reason why those people are dead, because rather than being calm, I lost my shit and I shot a gun and everybody ran. So I don't know what did y'all think about that whole conversation with Donna and Boyd?
I don't know if that's why I wouldn't say if that's why she lost it. I think she was already losing it because of what happened at Colony House. And I think that just kind of really made it worse. So I don't know if it's just the people that she couldn't save. I think it's just a collective, because that whole thing, that once it started to go south, you could start to see she was kind of going south. And I think that just like really exacerbated that whole scenario.
Yeah, I agree. Like with the loss of the people at the community house on top of this, I think it's just a lot that Donna has been put through, being the leader of community house and being the leader, I guess, while Boyd was gone, because what is his name? Kenneth?
Kenny wasn't
Kenny. He wasn't doing nothing. I can't even remember his name. He wasn't doing nothing. So I think it's just her just being in that leader, being put in that leader position, but then being responsible for so many people and them having just died. I think she's having a bit of a breakdown, just like, oh, I don't know what else to do. Like, I did my best, and apparently my best wasn't enough. So,
and I think that's a good point. I feel like there's a lot of pressure that comes with not only being leader of Colony House, but also having a realization that they didn't know if Boyd was alive. You know, so they're thinking that Kenny and Donna are literally just running the town. And I have to say, I do kind of agree with it. It was definitely like, it wasn't a crazy episode like it was last time. I feel like this episode had a lot of dialogue in it. And I feel like it was more of a fallout episode. And I kind of had that vibe. I didn't think we were going to get any crazy monsters, action, or anything like that. We did get more questions, but I don't think it was like as crazy as last episode. So I feel you on that. But yeah, Donna's definitely unraveling. And I can't wait to see her recovery from this like rock bottom, because we've never seen Donna like that. She's always been like the Rock. So it's weird to see her kind of like at rock bottom and climb back up. So let's move on to the Matthews family. So Jim is in the clinic getting checked out, and Tabitha is by his side after finding out that the house fell, and she runs to Victor. And so Jim is talking to Tabitha and saying how they thought she was dead. Tabitha tells Victor that the wires aren't connected to anything and that they were dangling in the ceiling, and how could there be electricity that's not connected to anything? And then Jim, but that's Victor.
I was like, hold up. No, Victor wasn't there. Yeah, Jim.
Y'all, it's been a rough week. My bad. Jim, I got Victor typed in everything several times. And so Jim is telling, Tabitha's trying to tell Jim about the wires, and just like we said, trying to communicate. And what does he do? Oh, we have so much to talk about. And then ask, well, how are the kids? Sir, they're right there. They're fine. Like, what are you doing? Let's talk about this. And I don't know, that they need to talk. And that was a perfect opportunity. You even dismissed the kids. So why didn't you have the conversation right then and there?
I mean, they're in shock because if I were Jim, I'd be pissed because that house collapsed because of your ass. And then if I were her, I'd be like, I'd be pissed because you didn't listen to any of what I was saying or doing. You just like, I'm so focused on this tower, and that failed. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, these two are not a good couple at all, at all, in my opinion. I mean, I think they're trying their best to be parents, but they are not good in communicating.
Well, they were divorcing before they came, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe that's something that they need to work on while they're in the town. They have nothing better to do. They need to work on, actually talking to each other, because that is really irritating me, because we talk about this on the show all the time about how they need to communicate. And she literally was telling you what she discovered. That was a perfect time to tell her about the tower and the guy saying, tell your wife to stop. Like, you could have literally but he interrupts her and whatever. And so I guess Tabitha ends up going somewhere or something like that. And Jim is in the hospital kind of looking at the sign, and the older woman comes in, and Jim asks her, was she on the bus and where was she going? And the old woman says she was going to the races to bet on the horses. I mean, hey, get in, we fit in. Old people, my grandma liked to bet too. So, hey, I feel you. Get on that bus and make your money. And then Victor was not Victor. Jim was really nosy, talking about some what's in the bag. Mind your business, bro.
I don't blame Jim. I don't trust that old lady. Something is wrong with that. Like, I feel like there's something going on with that old lady. It could be something simple, like maybe she's sick or something. But like, he asked her, like, where are you going? And when he was asking that question, I was actually expecting her to say, oh, I was going to Michigan. Oh, we were going to Atlanta. Oh, no, I'm going to the racetrack to bet on the horses. That's not really what I asked you. Like, okay, that's like too specific. Thank you for the information. But were you going to Atlanta? Were you going to Tennessee? Where was you going? I need to know, because they all got in that location, but they were going to different places. So that's why I thought he was asking her, like, where were y'all coming? Like, where were y'all going to?
Like, you got
it was kind of a canned response that, like, immediately, because if you were asking me, I can't say that would be the first, like, I would give you such a detailed response.
Yeah.
I would also be like, yeah, I was on the road to here and here, like, that was pretty specific. Like, I don't know. I didn't trust her because I thought she was crazy from the get-go. Rain dancing and all this. I don't trust
I was just
Patty Mayonnaise at all.
I feel like y'all don't trust her because she was dancing in the rain, being happy.
Well, she just also seemed weird. Like, I don't know. It was also when Julie was having her breakdown, and she came up and comforted Julie and like had her putting her hand. Something just felt very off, and so I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about her character that I just, from the get-go, I don't trust. I could be completely wrong, but she seems a little shady to me. I don't know.
Y'all gonna start coming to shady grandma.
She's definitely hiding something. She's definitely like, I was going to the racetrack to bet on the horses. They could be the horses, and she was coming to them to bet on, like, who gonna break down, who gonna die. That's how I saw that answer. I was like, nah. Y'all
don't trust anybody.
No, hey, look, there are some people in this town I would trust, but on that bus, I don't know. I don't know.
She did nothing to y'all.
Okay. Well, if you want to put your faith in her, you go right ahead. You see who's living at the end.
I'm riding with grandma. Y'all on her neck for no reason, but
like Carol in The Walking Dead, how she used to walk up to people and be like, "Oh, I baked some cookies for you guys." That's how it is. That's what it's gonna be for you, RJ. You're gonna be like, "Oh, she's
gonna
chilling with."
She gonna be the reason why they get home. Watch, mark my words. She gonna save the day. She gonna teach Victor how to draw, and then they're gonna get home because she went to art school in the 70s. Mark my words.
She couldn't even do a good rain dance. I don't think she's gonna be able to draw.
I'm telling you, mark my words. She's gonna be the reason why they get home. But Also, I want to talk about what is her name? Christy and Marie.
Oh,
What's her name?
Muriel.
I think
Muriel. Muriel?
Yeah, nope. When I was watching episode 7, they were saying her name a bit.
Okay, because I don't know, like on the
Because I thought it was
IMDb.
Mary too, but apparently it's Muriel. So
Yeah, because
maybe
on the
they call her
IMDb
Mary,
it's
but
Mary, like Mari.
so. Maybe
Weird.
it's
oh,
like
maybe
they
it
just
is.
call her
I don't
Marie.
know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Wait,
I'm getting
sorry.
old.
I'm
I've
skipping
got bad
around.
hearing, y'all. We'll chop it up for that.
Yeah. I'm skipping around though. I forgot to talk about Tabitha and the little kid and the tower.
Mm.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, I can't wait to talk
We're
about
gonna talk.
that.
We have a lot. Stick around. We got a lot to say about it. We were talking about this backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's very interesting because I don't think they've actually explained why or who, or well, of course they haven't explained why, but certain people
explain
get
nothing.
visions,
Yeah.
and I think it's in or what they see, where Jade sees symbols, Ethan sees the young boy, and so does Victor, whereas Tabitha now is seeing all these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious as to what these links are. But I mean, I think part of that too is also, I don't know if it's because she was exposed in a sense because she went through that with Victor, or I don't know.
I feel like she has a predisposition too because she did touch on when her son had passed away and she was seeing him in the crib. So maybe it's
That's
like sort of like
true.
with Harry Potter where you have to experience certain things in order to see certain things. And so maybe it's something like that where she's experienced that, and so maybe it's that, but I don't know. And I will say one thing, and y'all know I don't like little kids in television shows because they always irritate me, but this kid is such a good actor and the character is so smart. When she tried to talk to him and say, hey, I want to talk to him, he was like, I already know this isn't pretend. I said, oh, bravo. Like, yo, you stay. He ain't getting
now watch him in the next episode do something. Do
something stupid, right?
All right.
But no, like I was like, that was really smart of him to say, like, he's like, I know this is not make believe. Like, you don't have to tell me. So whatever that kid is seeing with Victor, he knows it's not time to play. Unlike the girl in the first episode who opened the window. So we don't have to worry about him.
Well, she ended up getting got.
Yeah.
And she deserved it.
Yeah, she really did. Like, you knew that wasn't your damn grandma. But also, what do you guys think?
Didn't even look like her. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Like, she looked pale and gray. Like, you opened the window, man. Hey, Timo. But yeah, like, I don't know. It just, the whole situation irritated me. But what do you guys think about the tower? Because didn't Tabitha see that tower in the tunnels last episode?
She did. Well, I don't know if it's last episode or the episode before.
Or did she have a vision of it?
She saw, I don't know if it was exactly like the blocks or if it was just the thing of rocks, but she saw that like pattern. Structure. Okay. Thank you. Yes. She saw that. And so I think that's going to be interesting because, again, I think obviously now Ethan's connected in some way at this point, but I don't think he realizes that. And so when she saw that, she kind of like had a moment. She like froze. Then it's like,
and it's crazy because when she talked to Julie about, because I had this theory that you guys ever seen Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
Yes.
That movie. Yes.
That's my favorite like Scooby-Doo movie. But you know how they were running from the zombies, but the zombies were really trying to protect them. So my theory was that these spirits may be not on the monster side. Maybe they may be like trying to scare them into a certain. I don't know. But that was my theory until she said that whatever she's seeing doesn't feel peaceful.
I mean, well, they've not harmed, like those apparitions have not harmed anybody. Whereas we do actually see like the monsters are like physical and you can touch and they can also, F you up. But these apparitions, I don't think there's been in any instance in any of these episodes so far where that we've seen that they've been able to interact. I think they're just there, like you. I don't know if they're there to help or hurt. I need some more context, or not I just need some more. Yeah, because like even for a while, Victor's like, "Oh, you saw him? He's back." Like at a certain point, it sounds like Victor saw him, but then never did. Or like the kid went away, and so I'm just. Are they maybe toying with you? I don't
possibly, because those two kids looked evil. They looked
they did
downright, and they were burned. Like like you can tell, like I don't know, kind of they looked evil. And that's even what Tabitha says. She's like, you know, when I heard or saw my son, it was more peaceful, and these two weren't peaceful. Like they were out for something. Yeah, I don't know.
But see. Maybe there are certain kids that try to help, and there's certain kids that are like demonic. Because the little boy that is helping Victor and is it Ethan? I feel like that little boy is there to kind of help them. That little boy has led them towards like the anywhere tree and safety and stuff like that.
That's true. I do agree with that, but
he did put Boyd in that little. He could be playing like he is helping, because he was the one who was like, get in the anywhere tree, and Boyd got stuck where he was.
Or maybe he didn't know. Maybe he knew that was no, because Victor said, I thought that the monsters were the worst. No, not Victor. Martin said, I thought that the monsters were the worst part until I went through the tree.
Yeah, so, and I do. I can't say anything.
They just been literally scaring the hell out of people.
I don't think we've seen those kids tear anyone apart, and I don't know. There's something about the creepy kids. I had some issues, but wasn't there also at a certain point? Who was were the kids dead, or like when they were on like the merry-go-round?
The merry-go-round. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Because those were not pleasant looking ones. I mean, Tabitha's going through it right now, but
that was a whole other level of like creepiness. Like it was like, all right, now I don't know, like it. So all right, so we have monsters, we have dolls, and we have spirits,
and
worms, and symbols. So these are 5 different mysteries that we have.
They're getting very close to lost territory. Let me tell you, y'all. Ooh, if they go the route of Lost.
I'm going to be irritated if it's a dream or if this is purgatory.
They better not go that route. I would.
Y'all better not. Like we're not.
Like I too would be upset if this goes the route of Lost, because I never watched Lost, because I basically heard about that show at the end of it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, there's so many questions." I was like, "I'm not getting into that. Nope. I can't do it." Yeah. So I can't do it with this show if they're gonna go that route. We're not gonna get answers until the 10th season.
Well, and I mean, I will say, pay your damn writers, because of the writer's strike. Yeah. Who knows if season 3 will happen, and if it does, when it will happen,
or if it'll be good if they don't bring in like scab writers.
I mean, that's what. Honestly, take a little sidebar. That's why a lot of shows win. Ooh, I do like that idea. Why Lost and a few other shows just went downhill because of the writer's strike, and they just couldn't prepare. Ooh.
Yeah.
And so what happened is they just added all these questions upon questions upon questions, and then they're like, "Oh, you're canceled," and they're like, "Oh God, how are we going to answer it all?" So they better not.
Yeah, they better not. Like, please pay them people, because I need this to end the right way, and I need answers. These are 5 mysteries. And wait, never mind. Sorry, spiders and the tower.
No, we can forget about the spiders. Those don't need to make another appearance.
I think I'm good. We need answers. So. And there's somebody watching and the lighthouse. I forgot about the lighthouse.
Oh, that's true.
Not yet. I actually need to get on Yellow Jackets. I haven't seen a single episode of this new season, but I hear it's really good, and I'm probably going to watch it all the way through once it's done, and I'll probably do like a live on that too, because I love Yellow Jackets. We were just talking about From and how they need to pay them people so we can get an answer to the end of the story. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Tabitha. So let's talk about this was a brief scene with Donna and Boyd and the people on the bus. So apparently there are 25 people that came on the bus, and then she said right now there's 22, something like that. But I thought more people died than that. It was Sarah, Kenny, the grandma and the grandpa, and I thought there was like another fifth and a sixth person that died. So I don't understand it. What happened?
I couldn't keep track of how many people died.
Me
I didn't even
either.
realize there were that many people on the bus.
It didn't look like
Me
25
either.
people. It didn't look like 25 people.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that's accurate.
Oh.
But yeah.
All I know is there not one person missing, because Donna said they accounted for 22. They found the girl in the forest and her boyfriend, so Brian and Kelly.
So it'd be 20.
Brian and Kelly, okay.
That's 24.
But didn't the
Who the-
two people outside as well end up getting
Hey, okay.
gutted when they were like Fatima was
Shaking the
trying to
hand.
save them?
Yeah.
Well, I think Donna in the 22, Donna included the people who died. She said accounting all the people who
Oh,
died
Joey.
and the people who were
Talking
still...
about From, Joey.
Joey's like, I don't watch From. Well, you should, Joey.
Who are you people?
But I think the 22 was included in Donna's count. I mean, the dead people were included in Donna's 22 count.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically there was, if I was understanding that right, so basically there was like 3 people missing.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So Brian and Kelly, girl in the forest and her boyfriend. Who was the other person?
Where's Elgin at? Do they know where No, they know where Elgin is. They know where he's
Yeah,
at.
they know where Elgin is.
So who the
No,
hell-
well, oh, you mean after? Never mind. Yeah, I couldn't tell you who that missing person is then.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I gotta go back and watch. Because that math was bothering me. But anyway, Randall is arguing with Donna about keeping his gun when Boyd interjects and explains the rules to Randall, and he basically tells him, "Yo, you can keep your gun. You're just gonna have to live out in the forest." And those bullets, we'll get to bullets later, but those bullets don't do anything in those creatures. So he wised up real quick. And it's so funny because I was talking to somebody and they actually like called him Clandle, and I was like, but he didn't. Why are you doing that to him? He didn't say anything racist. Why are y'all calling this man Clandle?
I wouldn't call him that, but Randall's
Like,
I
he didn't say
know.
anything yet. Like, he hasn't said
I
one
can't believe
racist
they
thing. Like,
called
why are
him.
you saying that?
Ooh, Randall's a.
I don't like
Mm.
Randall at all.
Randall deserves to get his ass beat.
He does.
Mhm.
Not a fan.
Yep.
I think that would humble him a little.
Yep. And y'all know he got another gun, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh,
There's no
Yeah.
way. No way.
Yeah,
There's no way that
he
man
did not
carries
give
one
his.
gun.
Yeah, no, you know he got another
No,
gun.
he
I
don't.
like how Boyd though just came into the situation because Donna was like, "Look, I don't know what else to tell you." Boyd was like, "What's going on?" All right, bro. I've been out in the woods, a spiders tower, Martin. I got worms in my arm. You could either go out there
Yep.
or you can stay here. But if you
Yep.
stay here, you giving up that gun. I like how Boyd just came in. He was like, I've had enough.
Shut
of
it down.
this."
The sheriff
Yeah.
is back. The sheriff is back.
Yep. Yep.
And it needed to happen because Randall's been a problem since he got off that bus. Somebody need to put him in check. And Boyd, because Kenny wasn't gonna do it.
Somebody gonna push him outside at night or something one day.
They need to. I feel like Randall's gonna be a problem later because he doesn't like to listen. Mark my words, he's gonna be a problem. He's not gonna fall in line. Yeah, he definitely has.
What if he becomes the next Sarah? Oh my gosh, that would be so much worse than Sarah. But
Rise will make us hate it whenever they fight.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. He can go.
No, you know what, Lady Geneva? I feel like they're gonna do that with Jade. They're making Jade really unlikable.
Don't you dare. Absolutely
telling
not.
Jade,
Nope.
you know what's gonna happen?
I don't believe
Randall or Jade is gonna sacrifice themselves to save Jim or Donna. They're gonna sacrifice themselves to save a fan favorite after they've had a redemption arc.
And,
Mark my
and
words.
you know what though? If Jay did that, I'd be like, sounds good to me.
What, Suzanne?
Monsters.
Even Randall from the show Recess, like all Randall was just like bad character. We're about to get to that.
Yeah,
in a
we're
second.
getting
We're about
right
to
to
get
that. That's the next topic. I don't know who Randall is, but I'm beaten.
And he deserves it.
Joey, you so real for that. Thank you.
Oh my
The talk of
goodness.
smoke for Randall is unlimited. So anytime you say anything about Randall, he
Randall
gonna
or
pop.
Jade,
Like,
I'm
Randall
not
or
happy.
Jade. Yeah, you don't like either of them. You don't like either of them. So I guess y'all want to talk about Victor and Jade and how and he had all the Victor stuff. Like,
Let's. I think where were we? Oh, before we do, we got to talk about because I've seen a couple of people. We def have to talk about the because we brought her up, Kelly.
The rod.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that. Okay, I ain't even gonna read off my thing. We're gonna have a conversation about this shit. So they find Kelly in the woods with a rod through her head, pinned to a tree. And what's her name? Christy, the worst paramedic in the world, decides that rather than putting a bullet in her head, let's pull the rod out. I don't have nothing to say. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Well, I know he did not.
Really?
Now, I do have to ask, did the girl, I'm trying to remember though too, because I thought if there was a chance she could be saved, she wanted to be. No?
There wasn't no saving her.
But no. There may not have been, but I'm just wondering if because she still wanted to try, it felt like. I agree. I figured she was going to die, but she wanted to take that chance. And I felt, I see you, Joey, haven't had any complaints. But it was a very emotional scene because I still like the conversation that they had with Kelly. Mm-hmm. And then you did find more about the monsters because the monsters were torturing her. And up to this point, we've not seen them do that. When she was, oh no, let me tell you, my heart was breaking during that scene.
Yeah, like it was hard to watch.
Because the actress did a good job and it was just so emotional. But I do think they did.
I don't think they knew that. I don't think they knew she was alive.
The monsters.
I feel like they thought they killed her.
Mm-hmm.
But then why didn't they open her up though? Because that's the other thing. Like everybody that they've killed, they've like filleted and just like taken out all their insides.
She said they were playing with her and like Kenny, is it not Kenny? Michael?
Brian, her boyfriend.
Damn.
Brian, well, that's what he gets for just opening the door and not checking.
Stupid.
Right.
They were living in the village. She was. I hated the village, y'all.
Yeah, I didn't like
sorry. But okay, Vera, that's not a bad idea.
But no, for real, like I don't think that they knew. I don't think they knew that she was alive. I feel like they tortured, and I feel like the rod through the head was like to send a message. And I think they
like
thought
stop
she was
looking
dead.
for
and for answers.
I mean, that's true because to this point we still haven't figured out who was speaking to Jim on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Joey, she literally got a rod through the head and was pinned to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
Like she did. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this last episode. Now, like I feel like this is what happens when you're stupid for a man, and you literally follow a man's lead just because he's a man, and now you're dead. Like so, let there be a lesson, ladies. Don't always follow behind a man. We're not always right. Zero effort to see what was going on. They're screaming and yelling, and you just like, oh, you open the door.
And she did like try to tell him not to, but I will say one thing. She should have ran up and like shut that door and be like,
Absolutely.
Could Brian be the missing person? Because we don't really have confirmation that he
seen his
died.
body.
We haven't, yeah.
Because they said, they made her watch, but did she really? Did she say that they killed? Yeah. Did she actually say that he killed her?
Yeah, we
that's good. I don't remember that, and we haven't seen a body. So, in the words of like all horror films, if you don't see a body, They're not dead.
Vera makes a really good point. They left her near their food source where they were trapping animals at for food. So they didn't kill her where they found her. They pulled her over where they knew they were going to find her at.
That is very true.
I didn't think about that. Oh no, AK, he didn't. He did.
I don't know.
I mean,
that's a huge misdirect, and I mean,
that man
you don't see a body, they're not dead, especially in this show. And I say that because, again, they like break open, like they take out the sternum, open their ribs up, and
and literally scrape them, like clean them. They clean them bones.
Exactly. Like they be hungry.
They really clean them bones, man.
And yet they all look so fit, and I'm very jealous.
I guess they get a lot of walking in every night. They get their steps in.
They don't run, which that's another thing.
I don't know, like that, but that scene was brutal. Okay, so let's talk about Boyd. So, well, Christy, she says, I don't want her last moments to be a gun to her head. Would you rather them be in a metal rod being slowly pulled from her brain? Like, what sounds better to you? Like, what school did you graduate from, man? Like,
yeah, but
maybe she thought that at some point, like, she would just die, and they were just like waiting there for her. Maybe, I don't know, waiting for her to die so they could just be like, okay, we can go now. But I don't know.
No, she definitely helped herself, like it was no problem.
Look, I hope it was good then, because I do think so far out of everything we've seen, I think so far her death has been, to me, the worst because she had to experience it. I do think that, yeah, Christy was a little bit lacked a backbone on that one.
Yeah.
But I swore they asked Kelly what she wanted, though, because I'm gonna have to go back. Granted, if it were me, I'd say just take the shot. Like, I don't care, take the shot, put me out of this.
No, they didn't ask her. They made that decision for her. I don't recall them saying like what do you want?
Okay,
they asked her because she asked about like talking to her mom or something like that, and they were like, yeah, cell phones don't work out here. We're delivering the message. But other than that, they didn't really give her any options.
Okay. Then, yeah, take the shot. You don't need to pull that rod out.
What do you think, Mo?
I mean, I agree pretty much. I'm just waiting till y'all start talking about when Boyd come into the picture, because Boyd was like, he rolled up and was like, cut this mess out right now. Like, if y'all don't want to be here, y'all go ahead. But I'm about to pull this rod out.
No, Boyd really did show up and shut it down because they were like, they were dragging it, really. They really were dragging that. They were dragging that. Like, they could have put her out of her misery.
And I guess that shows really how, like, the decisions that, or some of the decisions that Boyd were making throughout this episode, I guess that just shows how much this town needs somebody to make those hard decisions for them. And I think when Boyd was out in the woods, they were really missing that. They had Donna there, but Donna, I mean, she coming off of the back of what happened at Community House, I don't think she was all pretty much. I don't think she wanted that position. She just took that position because she had to. But Boyd is like, I've been in the military. I've had to do these things before. I can make these hard decisions. So I think that just really showed how much this town really needs Boyd or somebody else to make those hard decisions about what'll keep everybody safe.
But he never killed Martin, though. I just got to throw that in.
You sure right.
I just got to give you that.
Right. I don't.
But he did. He really.
I don't know.
He did. He controlled that situation because, again, we just had Kenny doing nothing, I was just like, he's giving the bare minimum, and I know he's processing a lot, but I'm like, ooh, you got to get through it, sir, because there's so much worse going on.
Like, okay, so I feel like that's probably the one decision that I don't agree with Boyd. Like, as far as with Martin, because you had the chance to ask questions and you're asking about, like we said last week, you're asking about, oh, where'd you serve at, sir? Doesn't matter right now. Like, doesn't matter right now. Like, there's more pressing matters at hand. But I will give it to you, Mo. When Boyd came, like, it was like, all right, if we're making a decision, like, it's a wrap. Like, y'all can't go, just go.
Yeah.
One thing that irritated me though, like, and we've touched on this before, is I feel like we know the bullets don't do anything to the monsters. They're damn sure not going to do anything to the spirits. They're not going to kill the spiders. If there ever
I
was
would
a
still
time,
waste all my bullets if that if that were the case.
But if
maybe the wildlife, maybe they're saving it for
Yeah.
the wildlife. There, aren't there? Like, well,
But I feel like what other situation is there more pressing than to use a bullet to put somebody out of that kind of misery?
no idea.
That's actually very true because I don't think we've seen a lot of like big wildlife. I think they've trapped I'm guessing like rabbits or something, but she wasn't yeeted by. Y'all. Oh, that was a good show too. But yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
I just. Sorry,
Yeah.
that comment. Like I forgot my train of thought. That was a good comment. Yeeted by oh, not that.
Oh my goodness.
You all are off.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Good job. I like that.
Oh my god.
Comment of
You guys
the
are gonna. I'm about to start wheezy laughing. That's a good one.
That was funny. I needed that. Oh my god. But yeah, if there was ever a time to use a bullet, like I feel like what more, because I even racked my, no pun intended, I even racked my brain after, like, what would have been more pressing to use a bullet? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a bad decision in my opinion.
I have a quick question because I noticed that, and this is still about Boyd when he showed up. So you guys remember like but right before Boyd showed up, Kelly was like started yelling, was like, "Do you hear that? Do you hear that?" Do you think Boyd is somehow changed by his journey, or maybe the worms? Maybe he's, I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know any other word to say,
Mo.
changed because of either the worms or the journey that he's taken or what. Because I thought that was a little bit funny because they were all sitting there talking to her, no problem. But as soon as Boyd got close, I thought there was something else going on. I thought there was like
We didn't hear
monsters
the
in the
music
daylight or
box
something.
at that point, did we? Did that start playing again?
What?
Oh, I can't
When
remember.
Boyd showed up?
I can't remember.
I cannot remember. I just know she started freaking out and she was like,
She did.
"Can you hear that noise?" You know.
Maybe the rod was maybe the rod was like a radio antenna to the worms.
Well.
Maybe that's how you sensed it.
I don't know if the worm. I don't think we've seen the worms cure anybody. I don't know, because they didn't cure Martin, and he was like losing life.
Yeah.
With a quick. Well, I don't know if he was losing life, but it felt like they were. Yeah, Martin just looked very weak. So I don't know if your body it starts to deteriorate from, at a certain point from it. Well, yeah, that happens. I mean, I wasn't. I think it was like, when did I mean, I binged all of this in one sitting.
Yeah.
Episodes 1 through 5. So, and I just, watched the others. So I'm I can't remember, but yeah.
But I do want to say that I do think that the worms, like with Mo and what you said, I do believe there was a connection to Boyd coming in, because how would she have known that he was, like it came out of like the clear blue sky. And first I thought, well, damn, is her brain turning back on? Now she can feel the pain, because before I think somebody said that she couldn't feel anything. So at first I thought that maybe
that is right, because of how it pierced her. Okay,
yeah,
never mind.
Yeah. So I first I thought like maybe her nerves turned back on, but I don't know. Or maybe there was something supernatural keeping. I don't know, but they should have shot her ass. Like that really irritated me. Like when I tell you, when they pulled it out, the scream was it was wild, man. I did not like that at all.
Like when actually Boyd started doing this, I was like, okay, we're doing this, 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 and all of a sudden the scream stopped, and I'm like,
yeah,
we did it.
I didn't get 7. I got 6. I need to ask about 7.
They're doing a weird rollout.
Yeah,
In terms of like how you got just 6. So today I got an email because like the screening window for 1 through 5 ended. They're like, here's 6 and 7. Like it was weird, but I was like, okay,
I just
well,
got
I'm
like
gonna watch it.
email for 6. Like I was like, oh, okay. Like you're not gonna add it to the 1 through 5, but whatever.
Well, I'm not complaining, so I'll take it.
Hey, keep sending them. So yeah, but exactly. And it wasn't even like it wasn't quick.
Well, hold on now. This is where Boyd is old. So, and that rod was pierced into that tree and in that skull. Do you think, how fast do you think you're going to be able to pull that out?
At that point, they were going to give her a torturous death. He could have put his foot on her face and pulled at that point, and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, yes, of course. I'm just saying. I don't think Boyd has the strength because, one, don't forget, now he's got those worms in him, and I think he's got, is it Parkinson's?
Oh,
yes.
Which kind of made me laugh. He's not back. Exactly. He is not Magneto. Like I don't think he was able to, like, that was gonna be slow. I just don't. That's funny.
Christy was terrible. She wasn't comforting. She was, I don't know. It was bad all around. If I was her when they came and got me, I'd be like, why y'all come and get me for this shit? What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all come and get me? It could have been a team effort, but Boyd knew they wasn't about that life.
No, Christy certainly wasn't. And I fully feel that Kenny at some point, well, I don't know about that boy right now. But I don't think I think he's just got too much going on up top. Like he's just not present. So I think if he were, he'd be a completely different character. But I don't think anybody there was going to help.
And I got to give Kenny some grace too. And I've been really hard on him, but we have to realize that his father like got torn to shreds.
That relationship. Oh, that gutted me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, but like that was such a sad, like
choice of words you talk.
I know, but my heart broke because they gave his dad, even though he didn't have much, still such like a rich, like he just seemed like a very rich character, had depth, and like you could tell there was a bond, and I get that, and so that's why, like, I'm hard on Kenny, and he still needs to step up, but I don't know if he ever will.
I don't think he will.
His mom's a stronger person than he is, and
right,
and that's not a bad thing. But like, she's the one who is not showing much emotion, but she's kind of keeping it together. Whereas Kenny, he's lost it, and he's showing all the emotion.
But I think too. I think women exhibit a different type of strength, and I think like women can be silently strong in a way that, like, I don't know. That's why I feel like she like, even with the whole her talking to Tabitha, and she was like, you know, moms got to stick together, you know. So I think there's a different strength that women and that moms possess that men just don't have the capacity to hold shit in like that.
Well, you know, RJ, as a woman, I would totally agree with that that argument. Yeah, we are stronger. That's fine.
She's not gonna, because you have to. I don't know. Like, I just feel like even the way Tabitha is handling it is, I don't feel like Jim could handle the stuff that Tabitha has went through in that tunnel. Like seeing those monsters up close, I don't know.
Oh, I fully know Jim would be like, I got to ask them questions. I got to know more. I can figure it out. Because clearly he tried to do that with the radio tower, and look what happened.
And exactly, loser.
And I like that actor too. But there's a reason his ass got an arrow through the chest in Mindhunter. It's a good horror film. Check it out.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
He was too smart for his own good. That's what happened. Has access to a barn of clothing, but can't still walk around.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Vera. I noticed that during the this episode. I was like, why is this dude walking around looking like Urkel? Why can I see his shoes, his socks, his leg? Like, why? Does he not have any more clothing? And I guess he doesn't. And his mama's like, stay out the storage because
you know what though? I'm gonna give let me give Kenny some grace on this because if Kenny, I don't know how tall he is, but you know, some of us Asian men, we're not very tall, and you know how hard it is to find the right pant length so where you either have to roll it up or it looks like that. Now I prefer to roll it up so I don't look like I'm wearing high waters, but I'm just tossing that out there.
So maybe his preference is high water instead of low.
No wonder Christy was like, nah. I'm good. If that's his style.
He saw them ankles and was like, nah, bro, we good. No, man. Okay, so let's move on to. Did we talk about Victor and Jade? I don't think we did.
Oh no, let's talk about that because I got, you know, I'm gonna go off on this one.
I'll let you take it. I'll let you take this.
Look, y'all know I hate Jade with a passion, but this was the episode that really cemented why I hated Jade, because even since episode like we first met, Jade has no concern for anybody else but himself. Mm-hmm. And that's what really upsets me. And so we know Victor is maybe, you know, mentally stunted, like with his development in terms of because of what he saw as a young kid, and so Victor's a very, I think there's something special about him because clearly he's been there, he's been able to survive, and he keeps to himself. And so, and that's kind of like the law in a sense, like he keeps himself and so people don't bother him. The only one that really does is Ethan, but you could certainly tell that there's like a bond right there.
Yeah.
But Jade, you know, like, oh, I can figure, well, he's also somewhat of a gem, but he goes in there and he just tears through everything. Doesn't care that he's ripping down the drawings, doesn't care that he's tearing up the room because he assumes Victor's dead, because he's pissed because that tower didn't work, all this. And then he ends up freaking finding the Polaroid, which, oh my God, there's a connection. And I can't, we find out, is it, he took something though. And I don't think that's this episode.
Was it the violin or something like that?
Yeah, was it this episode? And then he took freaking Victor's violin and was just sitting there playing with it, having a good old time. Yeah. And then Victor's like, can I have that? You're like, that set me off because I'm like, come on, man. I get you want to get out of there. I get you're trying to. I'd like to think you care about other people, but I truly don't think he does. And that's why he pisses me off, because in that whole scenario where they're at, you got to be looking out for yourself, but that's a community at this point. Mm-hmm. And if you only have your back, nobody else is going to have your back then because you don't have theirs. Which is why I'm like, fine, let Jade's dying breath be saving somebody, because I'd be like, good, you learned your lesson, but thank you for letting me live.
The smoke for Jade is unmatched.
You all don't know how much this episode, like I was, I'm crying, angry, right? You know, he stole that bike from a kid, Joey. Also, stole that bike from a kid.
Maybe Jade thought it was like a situation in the first season when daughter went to community house and they had all her clothes on. So maybe he thought it was like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna just take this because it's community house, right?
Everybody.
Jay, just this episode, really, his lack of compassion. That's the other thing. He just is not compassionate.
Yeah.
Because I think somebody also mentioned earlier about the girl with the eye patch. I don't think he cares. I mean, part of the
I don't know. I don't like Jade either. Not as much as you, but like, the whole like, and then when Victor went to get his violin back, he kind of looked like mad that he asked for his shit back. Like, it's not yours.
See,
like,
that,
what do you
like
mean?
That? It's that, like, just okay. You know what? Jade is very attractive, but that's only going to take you so far. Because if it were me, I would push Jade down the stairs.
Good point, Vera. Yep.
I mean, yes. Yeah.
Very dismissive.
And
And then I
incredibly
also feel
smart.
like,
He's just he's
but
such
I feel like too, he thought I don't know, like what he found, like he was acting like he found like some missing link. You just saw a picture of Victor where we could have told you he was there. Like, and yes, the sheriff had the journal, but what?
Yeah, but I don't think I mean, I don't think Victor talks about it, so maybe people they don't talk about it. And
Also,
I'm still struggling to find. I mean, I think for us as the audience, we were like, oh, that means something. But Jade has yet to figure out what it means. He again, Vera, he is.
Jade Thurston is
But you know
wow.
what?
I think at this point everybody in the town is like, oh, that's Jade just being Jade.
Like
I think Jim's put up with them, Donna's put up, like, oh, that's Jade being Jade. But yeah, he didn't realize, like, with Victor, he has to be a different type of way, because he can't just roll up. Okay, he can't just roll up into Victor's little place, start tossing around things. I think if he would have came at Victor a different way and were like, hey, Victor, can we talk? I found this picture. I know you know a lot because you've been here a lot. I think they could have collaborated on some things if he would have came to Victor that way and listened to Ethan, who was like, he's really not gonna like you tearing up his room like that.
Damn,
like
he did try to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jade's even rude to Ethan. And again, I'm not a kids person, but even I'd be like, dude, Ethan, at least so far in the show, is one of the most wholesome characters. Besides, which I know people aren't a fan of, Elgin is another person who is very, like, so far, like, seemed just kind, like, you know, I just
Ethan absolutely is like the exception to like kids in a television show, especially a horror show. To me, he's the exception to the rule because he's smart. He doesn't take unnecessary risks, I don't think.
No, I don't.
And I feel like he's knowledgeable. He's not like a dumb kid who's gonna do dumb things. This kid gets like this little proof for me. Like I rock with him.
He asks the right questions too.
Yeah.
Jay and Victor be like the no. Oh, like I will say I did laugh in the very first when Jade like just thinks it's all a gag. That to me, I was like, okay, Jade, you're funny. But the personality has been very grating, and I'm just like, ooh, it's only taking you so much further. So
extremely, yeah,
something's got to change with that man.
We're not Team Jade at all. His mom said the place was dangerous. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
when he had that conversation. He was like, I know this is not make believe. Like, you don't have to tell me. She had a whole speech plan. He was like, yeah, we're good. So props to Ethan.
Your parents try to give you the birds and the bees talk, and they're like, I already got it now.
Did they cut off in a bloody way? Wait.
Are we talking about the priest that died?
Don't bring up I love that character. I was so upset. He was the other one. It didn't
bother me at all. I was good.
Look, he was very open and honest in terms of how he spoke to everybody. And I really appreciate how he spoke to Boyd at times, because sometimes Boyd did need to hear that tough conversation, because sometimes Boyd doesn't face facts or he holds it in. So, but
everybody in this town holds everything in, and that's their problem.
That's true.
Like, speaking of that, like, I want to talk about Fatima and Elgin real quick. Fatima needs to talk to somebody, because she's going to end up getting herself killed. She's going to get somebody killed, because that woman is unraveling. She's supposed to be acting as Elgin's proxy, and Elgin just kind of cuts her off and is like, yeah, where's the lake? And so she takes him to the lake, and then she's like, well, how did you know about it? And I don't know. It just seems like she had a whole attitude the whole time when she was like kind of explaining stuff to him. She was saying that because she was saying, well, how did you know about the lake? And then Elgin's like, well, I saw it. And then I don't know, I feel like she was rolling her eyes the whole time when she was talking to him. She was like, yeah, it happens sometimes. Like, people tend to have sort of reactions to this place and nightmares and premonitions, and it happens to some and not to others. And there was a woman named Nadia previously who said that the place was calls out to some people, but only some were listening close enough to hear it. So I was under the impression that Elgin was the first person. According to Fatima, there's been other people.
Wait. That's okay. So we might not have heard it, But maybe that's what Kelly heard. That's what I'm just kind of curious, because now I'm glad you put that in there.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't. Oh.
Very.
Okay. Now, I'm so tired of that. Look, okay, I had a thing for him. He was cute. I liked him.
But I don't know. Maybe that is what she heard.
Oh, that's very fascinating now. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, oh god, the psychic. Honestly, there's a couple psychic people in this group. I swear.
Yeah, really.
I think. Also, can I say, I also do kind of hate on Julie at times.
Yeah,
but she did step up in how she, steps in. She's like, I can speak to Elgin, and there's just something nice about that I think she's maturing.
Exactly. Fatima's energy was completely different to how when she talked to Julie in season 1.
Oh yeah, very.
Yeah, she was very gentle, and then she seemed so bothered talking to Elgin, like she didn't want to do it.
I think she was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. We saw how she was last episode, and this episode, she's like, here I am, giving somebody else the same speech I've given 1,000, not 1,000, but probably maybe 5 or 6 people before, and maybe they'll live, maybe they won't. Oh yeah, a lot of people have not hallucinations, but what is it, dreams or whatever. Yeah. Never turns out to be anything, so don't even bother. I don't even want to hear it anymore. I've heard this 1,000 times before, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I think that's what it was.
I mean, I could see that, because she definitely broke down the last episode. So, and I'm sure, again, something is off. I'm sure we'll find out what it is at a certain point. But also, Julie being the compass of sanity, no, Joey. Joey, I love that you're here, but I'm gonna need you to watch this show. One, because I do think you'd enjoy it. Two, she is not no. Julie has her own she's maturing though, and I do like to see that, not only just with the character itself, because I'm hoping that maybe that means Jade will. Maybe that means Randall will.
Speaking of Julie's maturity, I did an interview with the actress who plays Julie where we talked about Julie's growth as a character. Make sure you check that out. Follow Silver Site for that exclusive interview.
That's a good plug too, but you should. Plug. It was a good interview, and that's
Thank you.
One thing I do appreciate about her character right now is she's kind of stepping up. I will say she's probably the most sane one right now out of her family. Well, no, that goes to Ethan. Ethan's pretty chill, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Do you think
they take turns being unhinged, and they
do
take turns having their shit together, because one episode someone will snap out of it, and the next episode they're being slapped to snap out of it. Not literally, but figuratively. So everybody takes turns. Because there's no way in this place you could stay sane, and there's no way you can be constantly insane. So it cycles.
I truly think that's why Victor is so sane, because he was so traumatized that I don't think, I just feel like his mental growth stopped right there. He was so affected. Nothing I mean, because again, he keeps to himself. He doesn't interact. He's got a routine in a sense. When you think about the whole Peaches situation, I just, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get lesbian vibes. I got nurturing vibes.
I think no. Oh no. I think, but Julie, I think, had feelings. I think they, or at least they did. They planted those seeds, because Julie was upset when she saw Fatima kissing somebody else. And because Julie kind of you could see that, and I don't know if it's just more that again, she was oh no, not Fatima one. I think it's Julie wanting Fatima. If you go back in some of the episodes, you can see it looked like there was some longing, and I think it's just, I think part of that was just attachment in terms of what she's going through, and just Fatima is so nice to her. But Well, is she? I wasn't sure where they
No,
don't
she's
say her
16.
age.
She's 16 because when I
Okay.
spoke with Hannah, who plays Julie, she did allude to her Hannah being 19 and Julie being 16. Check the
Okay.
interview out, Silversite.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I still do feel like though, that Julie was kind of having those feelings.
Yeah.
Or at least, I don't know if it was just maybe because somebody was being nice and caring towards her, or if there was something there. But I do think there was like a fleeting moment. I don't know if it goes anywhere.
I don't think it will. I think that if the seeds were planted, I feel like she's come to the realization that it wasn't what she thought it was, because I didn't get vibes like that from the interactions after.
I mean, they've dropped it, so
yeah.
Thank you. Infatuation. That's okay. I would go with that. Yes.
Yeah.
But it felt like there was something there, but maybe another.
If
another bus rolls up, they are going.
Yeah.
Donna's going to lose it.
They don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, pray for Donna.
Right?
They don't even have enough. Like, they're going to run out of resources. Like,
yeah,
I don't know
protect Donna at all costs. So if
how
another
the
bus
how
is coming,
the
throw a
gas
mine
is not
under
going
it.
bad is beyond me. I don't understand how the gas is still running in that van. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, that's actually very true. I've been very curious.
The gas don't last that long, so I don't know how the gas is still functioning. Maybe it's like the electricity.
But
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like some weird things that happen because also, how do they all have water? Because at one point, I don't know if, you do see like a washer and dryer, and I'm like, does it? What? I don't know if it actually works.
Colony House stinks. There's no way that works. Like,
there's some of the houses you see that they have that. So kind of curious how all of that. See, and it could be time works differently there.
Or maybe just people keep rolling up in their cars and they just keep getting the gasoline out of those. There's gonna
that's true. Oh no, you could siphon it out.
Diesel.
But that bus is diesel, so that's it. Once that's going, that bus ain't moving.
I mean, I don't think that bus is moving anywhere after.
Yeah.
I don't see I mean, they can't replace that tire regardless.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Everyone's growing food everywhere, green potato. Well, they
address it later on.
They have crops.
Yeah,
they have crops.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the animals that just kind of showed up, wasn't it? Though, like,
yeah.
Oh, could you imagine though all those people eating onions at Colony House?
It already stinks in there. You can't tell me it does not stink in Colony House. Like, and to add onions on top of that, nah, we're good.
Absolutely not.
They're running out though. Jade had used his last little bit, so
you know what? They still have that potato vodka, so God bless that.
Yeah, because Kelly didn't. What's her name? Kelly didn't drink it all up because she was pinned to a tree.
That's probably what they should have did, and just before pulling out the rod. Well, that's just a waste of alcohol.
They could.
Yeah, I was like, hold up now, hold up.
Waste the alcohol mode, but don't waste the bullet.
I was with you for most of this, and then we don't be talking about. The small town at least has one bunker doomsday guy. And actually, technically, I mean, it's not it's a cellar. But I'm curious as to why we see it, but I'm shocked that they don't use it.
I don't know.
They do have the one greenhouse. That is truly.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah. I know that place is funky.
Oh, yeah. I already know.
I established that in the first season. Yeah. I was like, no.
You couldn't pay me to live in
Not a waste of exactly that. You know what? If that were me, I would then pull the rod out myself.
Y'all gonna shoot me. So
maybe
I don't know.
You're the person getting drunk before pulling out the rod.
Yeah,
that's the best way to say
one.
Not giving you the shot, but I gotta pull it out. But I don't know. Overall, I like the episode. It wasn't as like action heavy as the last episode. Like I said, it was more of a Fallout episode. But overall, I liked it. I do get why people didn't really care for it, but for me, I feel like we got I don't even want to say answers, but it was we got
some.
We got some. Wait, what happened at the end of the episode?
I was like, wait, what? When did we get answers?
We got more in terms of that there's more going on, I think, with the monsters.
Okay.
I truly do think that was, I would have liked a little bit more, but I do think because that's a behavior that they have not exhibited that we've seen.
True.
So I do feel like that starts to make me think less spirit or less supernatural, possibly more something more sciencey.
Yeah.
To me.
Okay.
And we also did find out what happened to Sarah. She's still alive because we see her in the last last
That's what
shot
it is.
of the
Okay.
episode.
Yeah. Want to make sure.
Yeah. So definitely got that answer. But I'm curious to see in the next episode, like where you been, what happened, But she did show back. I'll have to admit, when she did pop up at the end of this episode, I was like, where have you been? Where have you been? Why?
Oh, Kenny was. He was.
Mm-hmm. He probably peed his pants. Talk about.
Kenny saw.
They don't have any Lysol anywhere.
There's no Lysol. They don't have nothing. But yeah, Sarah came back. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens with that, because I feel like now that Sarah doesn't have the worms anymore, right?
Yeah, she still does.
She still does. Okay. I'm curious to see the fallout from everything that she did. Because if anybody should be in the box based on what they did, it should be Sarah.
It really should be, because
it sucks.
But those were the rules, though, too. If you think about it, remember that happened with the one guy who got super drunk and he wasn't there for his family, and they got killed, and so they put him in the box.
Him in the box.
She literally murdered people. She should be in the box.
She killed the brother. Did she try to kill Ethan? So yeah, and she's responsible for Kenny's dad's death. So if anybody's a candidate for the box, it's her. I don't think they can barricade them, because that's a cave. There's always a way out, and I feel like those monsters have superhuman strength. If they can rip open somebody's chest cavity, they can definitely push a boulder.
Oh yeah, that is not that I know from experience, but from all the medical shows I do watch, that is not an easy feat.
Yeah, so I doubt they're gonna seal him in there unless the cement truck rolls into town. I don't see that bad boy happening. But yeah, so any final thoughts, theories, predictions about, or thoughts about this episode, or anything like that you want to add, Mo?
I have a prediction, and I know a lot of y'all aren't gonna like it, but there's so much going on with Donna right now. Again, this episode, she's recovering from everything that happened at Community House, and then the last couple episodes of the bus. I have a feeling at the end of this season, we gonna see her go.
No,
I don't want it to be. No. I feel like she's gonna have some type of redemption, and then
she doesn't need to redeem herself.
I mean, it's not like a redemption, but I feel like she's gonna be okay with the decisions that she made, and she's gonna probably end up saving some more people and be like, "Y'all go ahead." I feel it. I feel like there's so much. I think they're like,
the
how you
feel
is
like lie right now.
When they're paying so much attention to a certain person, and then they make you, oh my gosh, Donna, she's the best. Oh my god, I love Donna. And then the final episode.
No, Mo, don't say that, man.
Yeah, I feel it. I
feel
it.
When CCH Pounder died in Tales from the Crypt Demon Night, when CCH Pounder died, when she let them go into the attic or whatever, like Donna did not go out like that.
If I have any prediction, I truly believe that one of the family's going to die. That would be mine.
She, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. Maybe she could redeem her redemption. I get you said she didn't need to be redeemed, but maybe the redemption comes from when she shot that gun in the air and she feels like she killed people. Maybe she feels like, well, I killed those people by scaring them off. I can at least save these people or whatever. Maybe, but I really hope I'm gonna be really upset.
I'm gonna
blame you, Mo.
I will say, okay. Because I don't want to be. If you haven't seen Scream 6, I'm just gonna say this. If you're gonna give me high stakes, there need to be high stakes. That would be high stakes. So I would be upset but I would also applaud it for taking such a bold move. I would say that. I personally, I would love to see, like, I'd love to see Jim go, honestly.
But it makes the most sense. It would make the most sense.
That, I think one of the smart people need to go.
So Jade, you and Jade,
Jim, Jade, and
damn.
Jim, Jade, and a few others, but I can't say how smart they are until we get to those. But there are a couple others. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you already know my thoughts on Jade. He can go anytime.
You don't care.
But you know what would be heartbreaking? And another thing I could see Victor not making it at the very last episode, because he's lived so long and he's done so much, and he does seem like he's not strong enough, but he is a protector in his own way. That would also, I would be heartbroken. Exactly, Joey. Take Jade. He can go.
Yeah, I could see that happening too. And I'd be the same way. Just heart. Oh, they better.
Well, I feel like Randall and Jade don't need. They're the same person. One is just more knowledgeable about the place than the other.
That's true too.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, like I said, we got as 10 episodes this season, so hopefully we'll get some answers this season. I definitely am enjoying season 2 so far. And I'm really enjoying doing these lives with y'all. It's a lot of fun breaking the show down and coming up with predictions and stuff like that.
You leave Kenny's mother alone.
Right.
They better not touch her. They better not touch her.
No, she'd be the only other person. No. You already took her husband away, Kenny's dad, and he was such a sweet kid. No.
Yeah, Victor, he don't got nothing but that place. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to stay there in the end and let everybody else go.
You know what? I could easily see that.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
No, I love these lives, but y'all, I'm just letting y'all know I won't be here the next one because somebody's gonna go see Fast X. I'm embarrassed for myself, but I want to. Screaming. So.
Hey, do your thing. We'll be here. We'll hold it down next week. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the Silver site also, because I don't know if Utaka's information is going to be in the thing to go live for the horror hour. So make sure you click the Silver site in the description. Go ahead and subscribe so that way you guys can come back next week and join us for the conversation. We are going to have a special guest panelist. We're in the process of finalizing booking right now. And if anybody you would like to see on the show, let us know in the comment section down below, because we love networking and working with other content creators, especially content creators of color. Have anybody drop them down below in the comments. But with that being said, Mo, where can we find you at?
You can find both me and Killer Cam at Blurred Up Reacts on YouTube and Instagram. We're kind of relaunching right now, though. So if you do go to those sites, you'll kind of see kind of like a blank page at this point, but we are relaunching some things and starting to get some new things going for you guys. But again, we can be found at Blurred Up Reacts at YouTube and on Instagram.
And Utaka, where can we find you at, co-host?
Well, you can find me at the Horror Hour TV. That's all our socials. We of course do reviews, sometimes interviews, podcast episodes, get filthy, gutted, because I've seen some of the comments and I know what. Yeah, I saw those. And just keep an eye out, because it's not horror related, but I am going to cover some Asian films, just because it's an important month and there's some really good films out there that I think y'all should see. Some oldies too.
Yeah, he gave me a list earlier today.
I did, like about 13, 15 films.
He did. It was a lot of films. But
some I've already seen, but some are good for a rewatch. But see if they hold up. Yeah. But yeah. Not at the club. I'm too old. Look, I'm in bed by 9 p.m., y'all.
Listen, after I click this end broadcast, I'm out. Like, hey, that's it. But it has been a pleasure, and I know it's only 3 of us today. Desiree and Hero Harrison had an event to go to, so they will not be. Well, they were not here this week. They will be returning next week, but Utaka won't be here next week, but we'll have our usual crew of panelists back. And Cam had an emergency tonight. He was in the comments too for a little while, but hopefully Cam will be returning with us next week. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun breaking down episode 3. Make sure you tune in next week to break down episode 4 with us, with our special guest panelists. With that being said, everybody have a good night, later days. Hold on. Okay. All right. Bye. Bye.